social distancing shit. All right, we're on. All right, cool. All right, guys, welcome back to another East versus West. My name's Eddie.
I'm Anthony. Fixing my
And
camera.
what was that?
I was fixing my camera real quick.
Oh, you're
Put it
good.
down more.
And today we're gonna have a diverse conversation about a few different things. We're gonna start off with going over some good news that's out there. And right now, the Orange County Orlando Task Force is working on phases to reopen the parks and just reopen Florida in general. I believe California has something similar going on as well. We'll transition from there to talking about the 5 things that we're looking forward to once the parks do reopening to doing. And then finishing off with some news around the Universal Park construction in Orlando, specifically around Epic Universe and what came out recently, how the current scenario is impacting the actual construction. But before we get into that, I'm going to transfer it over to my boy Anthony. He's got a couple things though.
You are on currently the Edutainment channel, so we have merch website up, and the Knights of Horror merch website is up right now. And on that merch website, we got East versus West merchandise from t-shirts, long sleeve tees, sweatshirts, tank tops, girls t-shirts, stickers. So if you guys have the extra money and you guys want to support the show, go to the merch link and check out what we have on the store, as well as other Knights of Horror merch from podcasts to just a logo t-shirt. But of course, pick up that East versus West merch. I know me and Eddie just bought ours recently, so gonna be rocking that pretty soon.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's gonna be good.
And then follow us on our social medias and everything.
Social medias, yes. I'm a little out of it today.
No, you're good. If
Knights of Horror.
It doesn't cost anything to subscribe either.
No, Knights of Horror on Twitter and the Knights of Horror on Instagram. And then on my YouTube channel, the Knights of Horror. Subscribe, hit that bell notification as well for Edutainment. Go subscribe to Edutainment. Follow him on your social media. What's your social media?
So I was looking at it after the conversation that you and I had. So it actually varies from like Twitter to IG to Facebook. But I'm just to keep it easy. The IG is are you Edutainment?
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
But if you search Edutainment in either of them, you should be able to find it.
Should be able to find him. All right, kick it off with the new safety guidelines they have in Orlando theme parks.
Yes, sir. You got it pulled up?
I do.
All right, cool. So the reason why we wanted to pull this up is because there's a lot of negative news out there about the current scenario, and I think this shines some positive light, shows that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Things are being put in place for the reopening. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen in a month, but they're taking into consideration what's going on and how they could effectively reopen the park. So the overall idea here is to do it in the safest manner possible for the employees and ourselves. So first and foremost, in the particular guidelines that we're looking at right now are actually from the Orange County Orlando guidelines, but I believe also California has something very similar as far as the guidelines. So as far as like the theme park guidelines, they have things broken up into phase 1 and phase 2. I'm just going to skim over it. I'm not going to focus on any particular one just because you could actually go and pull this up. You have Blue Loop that has it on. You have the Orlando Sentinel. These are different like websites where you could go and actually take a look at the spreadsheet that they were reviewing during the call. But this was a live call that you could have like tuned in on while they were reviewing this, and this was like an Excel spreadsheet. So they broke it up into different phases, and they also broke it up into small theme parks and large theme parks. Small theme parks, that category kind of goes over like, Top Golf, Fun Spot. They have Gatorland, parks that don't have the large capacity that a Disney World or Universal Park would. And then the large theme parks are those exactly. You got all of Disney World and Universal parks fall under the large theme parks. As far as the way that they break it down, you got guidelines and mandates. guidelines being things that they want implemented, um, either all the time or as frequently as possible. Mandate being this needs to happen. So let's start off with the mandates for the large theme parks. The small theme parks are going to basically fall around the same kind of mandates to some degree. Um, and really what it ends up being is the capacity, and when these things roll out, that's going to be the difference. But the mandates for the large theme parks, first and foremost, all employees must wear a face mask. Also, touchless hand sanitizers at each ticketing entry and turnstile. In addition to touchless hand sanitizers at each ride, both entry and exit, temperature checks for staff prior to shift, temperatures above 100.4 must not enter the premises. All employees with flu-like symptoms advised to stay home, and then wipe down of all rails and surfaces after every single use. Phase one, they're going to allow the theme parks to be at 50% capacity, and then phase two, I believe it's 75 capacity. Phase three, I believe at that point is going to be back to regular capacity, but still with all these mandates in place. Some guidelines, sorry, I can't spoke today. Some guidelines are tapes or tape on the floor marking the 6 foot ride restriction for the queues, as well as staff to regularly wipe down surfaces at random, so as frequently as they possibly can. And then they're going to also have an encouragement for staff members and visitors of 65 years or older to stay home for both phase one and two. Another thing that they went over, which is something that as soon as the theme parks, Anthony, you got anything that you want to add on there, or anything that you saw stuck out to you?
It's pretty simple. I mean, pretty just the requirements of what's going on right now. Good to see that they have initiatives to go forward and take the time and hopefully train their staff as to further detailing and cleaning, said rides and said gift shops, said restaurants. So that's just my biggest thing. I'm hoping. I'm not reading that on here, but but it is saying that they're preparing their employees for, of course, the said guidelines for social distancing and face masks and hand sanitizer. I hope that when stuff does start opening up, they start releasing an overall guideline of how they're gonna maybe take like a month before coming back, training all the staff into cleaning and stuff, just throughout the day. I mean, because I know that's gonna be a big thing, a big question that's gonna pop up to a lot of people.
Yeah, and I think in the next like 2 weeks or something like that, I could be wrong, but very soon they're already allowing like restaurants and smaller businesses to already open. So like restaurants they'll allow outdoor seating as long as the tables are 6 feet apart from each other, as well as some social distancing measures and capacity guidelines for interior of restaurants.
So for California, we actually have a 4-phase plan the governor is trying to try out. Phase one would be opening up small businesses and small restaurants and stuff. I think phase two goes into the proportion of getting everybody kind of back to normal in a way. Phase three would be starting to open up like more major businesses and getting everybody back into work. Of course, following the social distance guidelines and following the face mask rules and, washing your hands and, all the necessities of bringing back, people into their normal routine lives. Then phase four would be, of course, opening everything as far as theme parks, getting everybody back to, sports games, everything, just everything as well. However, if you do live in California, you do know, at least in the OC kind of area, or in Huntington Beach to be exact, that yesterday there was a riot. As of this recording, a riot of people trying to get back into the beach because they had shut them down because of the new cases that popped up in OC within the last week or two of 19,000 new COVID cases. I just want to touch on that a little bit, guys. Yeah. They're not doing this the governor is not doing this to say, fuck you. We don't want you guys in the thing, in the beaches or anything. He's doing this to keep everyone safe. I can't stress this enough. The more we do our part in this, the faster this thing gets back to normal.
Yeah.
With stuff like that, it's just going to cause it an extra month or so. So I understand times are tough, and I understand people want to go to beaches. I understand people want to go to the theme parks. I understand people want to get back to their daily normal lives, and they want everything open again. But that doesn't happen unless we do our part in all this. So
Yeah. Yeah.
please just do your part and don't argue with what's going on. Yes, it's bullshit. I know, because I'm going insane in my house as well. But please just be patient, because stuff will go back to normal if we do our part.
Yeah, and I was gonna just piggyback on that. You could attest as well as I can that it's not easy staying home, and we don't want to stay home either. But
Yeah,
we understand the impact that this could have. And then another thing, I'm sure you probably saw SoCal put out a video that he went to the beach once they reopened the beaches, right? Did you watch that?
I did.
Yeah, and he took the measures that were advised when going outside. He wore a
Yeah,
mask. But one thing he did point out was that people weren't following social distancing and they weren't wearing masks either. So if the measures are put in place, or if they're allowing us certain luxuries again, like going to the beach, because right now that is kind of like a luxury. Going to events is a luxury that we don't have.
yeah,
Uh, then we should take the proper measures to ensure that while we're doing this, we're still remaining as safe as possible and keeping everybody else as safe as possible around us. But
definitely.
yeah, but that's a good point. Thanks for bringing up your phase or your plan as well, because I heard about it. I heard it was the 4 phase, and you guys are being also a little bit more strict, because I believe the phases don't
Yeah.
even talk about theme parks up to like the third phase.
Well, according to SoCal Exploring in San Diego, they're going to start opening their stuff in 3 weeks. A lot of the theme parks around there, which I really think is a bad idea, because the fact of the matter is, we saw how the beaches were, how people reacted to the beaches. And he's saying San Diego is a lot different than what it is over here. Um, but I always go back to the argument, not everyone has been tested for COVID-19, and myself included. So we don't know who has it and who doesn't. Someone can have it and not even know, and just not showing signs of symptoms yet, or they just have a really good immune system, but they still have the virus in them. So
Yeah,
that's just what's scaring me about opening up stuff. Like, I get it, we want to go back to the lives of just opening up stuff and everything, but I mean, look at just what happened in OC. I mean, 40,000 people showed up and 19,000 people got a COVID case. So it's like almost half of them got. And so that right there kind of shows, like, if that's going to happen there with people getting that, I mean, the minute they open up these theme parks, it's going to happen there probably. And unless they, have the right precautions taken and stuff, what I think they really need to do, put into effect too, and, it's going to be a little bit more of us, adapting to this situation as well, as start having people wear gloves as well.
yeah,
I mean, I know it, they kind of suck with, of course, when you're on your phone or something, or when you just do everything, everyday things and stuff. But I think gloves need to be the next step in doing this, as far as, because as far as touching and stuff goes, I mean, you go to a grocery store, a million people, or not a million people, but, hundreds of people a day will probably touch the same item you're going to pick up. So I don't know. I think that should just be the next step as far as where this goes. Gloves should definitely be in the works as well too.
yeah. And I'm with you. I don't think that it's a smart thing for any large gathering to open up next week. And the phases that I've seen for you guys, although I haven't seen them all in great detail, um, it doesn't sound like that's actually accurate. So it could be that California is a huge state, so different parts of California could be open.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the governor's giving the freedom of the freaking cities to kind of work what they want. But as shown in OC, the governor, it's not looking good, man. I mean, I fear that we might be going in martial law in California because of the people not following, especially as a result of yesterday in Huntington Beach, the people, that's what scares me the most, is going into martial law. I mean, yes, I am just on the same boat. I want all these parks opened up, and I want to go out and do things again. But at the same time, if it's not ready, it's not ready. And if this is going to push us forward to martial law, that's a scary thing. People like really need to wake up and see that.
Yeah, and let's hope that's not the case, and
Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping these phases do. So back to like a positive thing, which that's what these phases are.
Yeah.
A move in the right direction. We're taking proper precautions, but another part of the phases are also specific to hospitality and restaurants as well as hotels. Once you start traveling for the theme parks, a lot of people don't live exactly nearby. Some people are a few hours out. Some people are in another state, so you may have to make a significant drive or a flight, which means that there's going to be some guidelines and mandates for the hotels as well. Not sure that the hotels will be opening up at the same time as the parks, because I think if the hotels don't open up at the same time as the parks, that could also help with the managing the capacity. Just because people aren't going to come to the theme parks if the hotels aren't open if they're too far away, which is a smart thing. They just don't open up the hotels, open up the theme park. Only really locals will start coming, which helps them manage the guidelines and mandates and put certain things into place and test them out. But to go over kind of everything for the hotels, you got kind of all the same mandates as far as like face masks for the employees, hand sanitizers at entry. All employees that have flu symptoms need to stay home. Front desk sanitize themselves on a regular basis. Consistent cleaning of guest areas. Front desk utilizes sneeze guards. Another thing that I'm hearing that I don't see on here is the removal of front desk in general, and also checking in. So everything will be mobile check-in. So you check in on arrival without going to the front desk. You just kind of do it on the app, and then you'll get a notification once your room is ready, and you just go up to your room. You're able to get in with your app. So that's something that they're looking at implementing as well. A couple things on here that are a little concerning for me, because I am a Coke, or not a Coke drinker, a coffee drinker, is no coffee machines, no mini bars, and any of the like dispensing machines there. So that's kind of just like a brief overlook, and that goes with both phase 1 and phase 2. And also they have the guidelines, which once again they aren't mandated, but as frequently as possible, they hope that these things are followed as well, which is very similar to what they have for the theme parks. In addition to phase 1 and phase 2, they strongly encourage that anybody above 65 stay home. But the reason why I wanted to bring that up, and Anthony as well wanted to bring this up, is because we wanted to kind of shed some positive light on things that are being put in place. It's very easy for us to overlook everything because we're getting so antsy in our homes. Let's just make smart decisions. There's plans that are being worked on that, if we wait and be patient, can effectively make it so that this is a seamless transition back into normality.
Yeah, I mean, and I always hate, what I've been saying throughout this episode, I may sound negative, but I'm just telling you guys the truth, man. If we keep doing stupid stuff like what happened in Huntington Beach and going to the beaches, it's only going to get worse. I'm just speaking the truth, man. I'm not trying to be negative, because I am just up there with everyone else who is tired of being at home, who wants to go out and do stuff, who wants to go hang out with their friends. Like, I am at that level. I am at the same level. But if we keep doing stupid shit like this, we're gonna be in here a lot longer. And it is awesome to see these guidelines that are putting in measure right now, because this does bring hope for the parks maybe opening sooner rather than later, because we've been hearing Disney might be not opening until 2021, and we've been hearing there might not be a haunt season, and but this right here, it shows that they've already taken the measures, and they're already testing out all these measures to get something going. They've been planning this since the closure, and they've been constantly seeing what works, what doesn't work, and they've been keeping an eye on the news as to what's going on in the world. So it's good that they do that. Another thing, I don't know if you touched up on a little bit, but restaurants. Have we talked about the restaurants yet?
No, we didn't talk about them specifically.
I like that they're going to start including disposable menus and hand sanitizer at tables.
Yeah.
I think that's good, because with the menu, it's usually one plastic just laminated menu, and you don't know who uses that, but it's also going to be somewhat of a waste as far as paper goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they start like you said with the whole hotel room thing, they can probably make that a mobile thing as well. Every time you go to the restaurant, they
Yeah.
have like a specific thing that you log on to and you can check out the menu. So that would be cool, but I think they're going to go disposable only because, not a lot of people are very tech heavy when it comes to going to places like that. So
Yeah.
um,
And they
that's
could
cool.
implement a really strong like recycling program where they personally are recycling the paper and only utilizing recycled paper to make those menus.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I would really appreciate that as well. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a strange world we're living in. We never used to be like this, and now we're very much we're living in different times.
I think what's going to happen is um, there's certain measures that are going to be put in place that are going to change the way we interact with restaurants, theme parks, and things of that nature, which are going to be much better. Like
Yeah,
you go to a restaurant and or a hotel, and you're able to check in without going to a front desk.
yeah,
I know that kind of eliminates the front desk necessity, but at the same time, we'll still need a front desk for other things, for assistance with our rooms and whatnot. But the simple fact that we're able to check into a hotel without having to go to the front, I think that would be something that it becomes a trend going forward that makes it a lot more convenient for us as a guest.
yeah,
Uh, the what's it called, the queues or the virtual queues, that's going to be extremely cool as well, so you don't have to sit around in a boring line that may have a delay or whatnot. You check in and you go, and then you
yeah.
come back on your appropriate time. So I think a lot of positive things are going to come from this, and all the negative things that do come from it will be temporary, just temporary kind of nuisance that we have to deal with up till things are back to normal. But all the great things that come from this and all the conveniences that are going to grow from this will remain, and going forward will be better for it. So that's kind of my two pieces, or my 2 cents.
Let's transition from guidelines to, because I want to end this podcast on a really good note. So we'll bring in the bad news real quick.
So
As far
talk
as
about
what's going on in
stuff.
Orlando, which I'll let you
Okay.
take over.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you know what? I actually like that. We'll talk about this and then finish it off with the top 5 things that we want to do that we can't wait to do up till when the parks reopen. So,
Yeah.
an article came out, and there was a news conference basically going over the Universal Orlando's new park, Epic Universe. Um, Due to everything that's going on, Universal Studios and every single business in the world, well, not every single business, but a lot of businesses in the world and theme parks are being affected greatly. I think Universal Studios for the first quarter of the year recorded like a 36% decrease in revenue. And that's only going to be worse for the second quarter of the year because they've been completely closed, as opposed to the first quarter they were open for a portion of it.
Yeah.
So the second quarter of the year, that's going to impact them greatly, and they stand to lose around $500 million in profit for the second quarter. So that being said, the construction for Epic Universe has been paused, which sucks. This was scheduled to open in 2023, and I was looking forward to it greatly. This is amazing that Universal Studios continues to grow their network of theme parks, and they're doing their best to combat the Disney World. And
Yeah.
myself being a Universal fan, I love Disney, but I'm Universal at heart. Always knowing that Disney is so much larger is always kind of like a little stab at me,
Universal's coming
And
up, man. They're freaking gonna they're gonna be some competition pretty soon too.
exactly, and Epic Universe was a sign that they were taking this really seriously. The first thing was coming out with the Harry Potter world and the Harry Potter lands, Diagon Alley, and all that stuff. That made headway for them. It made them a real player in the theme park world because people are coming from all over the world just to see that. And now they were going to take it a step further. They've been building a ton of hotels, but now they were going to open up a whole new theme park, which was huge with a bunch of different themed lands. But it's been halted. Now,
Not to mention, Mike Aiello dropped out of the Horror Nights creative team just to join that team to try to bring it as well.
yeah. Actually, you know what? I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. So
Yeah.
maybe Mike Aiello comes back for the. he comes back for one more year. Actually,
Maybe.
who
I
knows?
mean, I don't know how far they are in HHN 30, but I don't know how much he can jump in right now, but we'll see. I mean, I know he dropped his last year of Hornets was last year, and that was due to him joining the creative team for Epic Universe, which I think is a brilliant next step in his career. Being part of a team who gets to create a whole new park is awesome. So he's got from what I've heard rumored so far, there's going to be a Universal Monsters kind of like land themed area. So
Yeah.
he's got a lot of fucking, you know, talk into that as well. He's got a lot of ideas for that if that's true, and he's like one of the main masterminds behind that portion of the park.
Oh hell yeah! And yeah, just to kind of go over a couple of things. This isn't necessarily the point of us bringing this up, but a couple of the lands that are rumored to be coming are How to Train Your Dragon, the Universal Classic Monsters, as well as what was it? The Harry Potter, the spin-off of Harry Potter.
They're gonna do something with Fantastic Beasts?
Yeah, Fantastic Beastland.
Wow. So they're really
on top
covering
of-
all of the years of Harry Potter there now.
Yep, and then potentially also one of the lands being Mario or Nintendo.
Super Nintendo. I wouldn't doubt it because all the
so-
other Universal companies are getting a somewhat adaptation of it. I mean, Hollywood's already working on it. Japan's is almost pretty much done, I believe.
Yeah, and that being said, there's a lot of reason to be excited for this coming. I think right now the rumor is it's being pushed back a year.
Yeah, I was reading it right now. They said it'd be delayed for another year, so we're looking at 2024 now.
Yeah, so 2024. Now that's good news. We know that it's not completely being scrapped. If you actually go to Orlando, you could actually see the area where Epic Universe is being built, and up till just recently, construction was live and going on. So now it's been halted, and it's a shame that it's been halted. But
let's look at the positive in this though. It gives them kind of the opportunity to go and take another year and more time into designing more things and adding more details to things than they have. So that's giving them an extra year to be a little bit more creative, which is really good. So
I think
that's a positive.
Yeah, that's a positive, and I think another reason why they're doing this is because it also gives them the ability to now take in the current scenario, implement things that if this were to occur again, that park would already be
they have a fucking phase
to
for. They have
deal
a
with
plan
that
for it.
issue. So instead of having makeshift hand sanitizer stations, these are already built into this park.
Yeah, so they have a plan for it.
Yeah, when you have the virtual queues, they are perfected and already built into this park.
Yeah.
So I think that's a positive is they have more time for creative, as well as they have more time to prepare this park to deal with the current scenario and not have to go down if it were to be presented.
Because my biggest thing going into this park was like, all right, they're building a new park. However, I don't know why I was thinking this, but I was already thinking it's gonna probably be not a success in the beginning. I mean, I think when stuff starts getting more announced and what they're going to add into the park, I think it's going to drive audiences there. Universal Orlando already has a big, number of people that already come to the park. So I just hope this is a success because I'm just looking back at the past from like Disney, when they opened up Disney Paris for the first time, it was a failure. When they opened up California Adventure, it was a failure. And I'm just looking back at like old parks, even at Disney World, there was a couple parks that were not successes in the beginning. So I'm hoping that this can break that kind of curse in a way where when it opens, it's actually a success and it's financially profitable.
Yeah, Universal Studio itself, when it first opened up, like I think it was more than half the rides didn't even work.
Yeah.
So they were constantly going down. But yeah.
Speaking of rides, top 5 things, man.
Okay, perfect. So that's it for the news on Epic. Universal's Epic Universe. So we got a bit of an epic delay.
An epic delay. One game on point.
But now transitioning into, we know that things are being put in place. There's a couple of things that are getting delayed, but things are being put in place for us to get back into the park. Us as horror fans and theme park goers are excited for when those doors open. I know personally, I'm not as scared as a lot of people are. So as soon as those doors open, I'll be there. So we're going to transition into the 5 things we are looking forward to doing as soon as the theme parks reopen. And Anthony, I'll let you go ahead and take the lead on this.
Right off the bat, number 5, I want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy again. I fucking love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's one of my favorite rides at Disneyland, California Adventure. I would say go to Avengers Campus, but I think that's on delay right now, so I think they're pushing it back till next summer now, which is actually good because if that is the case, then maybe we'll just get a full opening of the entire land rather than one part and then the next part. So that I'm actually okay with that. But however, that will make it a little bit harder to get on both of the new rides because, of course, if they're going to use the same system that they use for Rise of the Resistance and to get into Star Wars Land, which are boarding passes, it's going to make it a little difficult to get on the ride, but my ass will wake up early as hell in the morning so I can go experience some Marvel because I fucking love Marvel with a passion. So Guardians of the Galaxy is going to go at number 5 just because I know Marvel Land ain't open yet. So I want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to get on. I want to help Rocket break out the Guardians. I want to hear some dope music while doing it. And I just want to feel that sensation in my stomach I get every time I do that first drop, which is just makes me laugh for some reason. But and I want to see the collector's beautiful collection too, because as a Marvel fan, I just geek out over all that stuff.
Nice. I need to see the POV of this ride because
it's beautiful. It is beautiful. You've been on Tower of Terror, right?
Yeah.
So that ride took over Tower of Terror over at California Adventure, and it's basically the same concept except there's just new effects and everything on the ride, and they redesigned it to look like the collector who's played by Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy. They turned it into like his kind of headquarters and his like office and everything. So
nice. What characters from the movie do you see there?
You see all of them. It's actually as James Gunn was filming Guardians 2, Disney approached him to film a thing for the ride. So all the actors from the Guardians of the Galaxy movie are actually on the ride.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
I'm definitely have to check that out when
making it the first MCU ride at any Disney park. So I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, first of many because
yeah.
Doing amazing.
I'm excited for MC. Anything Marvel, dude, bring it to the parks. I will be there day one. I was there for day one at Star Wars, and I'll be there for day one at Marvel, dude. I'm bringing my Infinity Gauntlets too.
Got your new Marvel mask too, man.
Dude, I'm bringing the Marvel freaking social distancing mask. I'm bringing the gauntlets. Yeah. I'm going all Marveled out, dude. I'll paint myself purple if I have to.
You're ready to ride Guardians of the Galaxy in style.
In style, dude, with gauntlets and a freaking face mask.
Yeah.
Done by Eddie Timmon himself.
Yep.
Look at this beautiful thing.
Save Look at that face mask.
Beautiful. He designed that. He made that. He sewed that himself.
Hell yeah. And then we got other ones like these guys. The
there you go. For all your Universal needs right there.
Yep. But we're gonna transition to myself. My number 5 is a little bit more simple than Anthony's, and the reason why is because I actually don't live in the state where the theme parks are. So as soon as the theme parks open up, what I'm looking forward to is going to visit Universal. And what the first step to going to visit Universal is booking my on-site hotel.
Nice.
Yeah, that process and receiving your email that you've been booked is always so rewarding for me. For the past few years when I've gone to Halloween Horror Nights or Universal Studios just in general, I've stayed on site. The last time that I was there, I stayed at the Aventura, but I'm probably for the Speed Pass reason, maybe I don't even need a Speed Pass given that when they reopen it may be a little bit slower, but I'll probably be staying at one of the premium hotels, like the Hard Rock Hotel. So looking forward to booking that hotel stay.
Definitely. Number 4 for me is probably just going to be taking a trip down to Universal Studios Hollywood itself. I have not been since Halloween Horror Nights. I have a pass. And I have not just taken a day trip down to Universal in a while, and I would love to see, for starters, I would love to ride the studio tour. I love the studio tour. I can ride that thing all day if I could. Checking out the Simpsons ride, watching Waterworld. I love Waterworld. Getting on the Mummy, getting on Jurassic World, getting on Transformers. Got to save mankind. So just taking a Universal trip, man, because I have not been in a cool minute.
Yep. My number 4, once again, is a little bit simple. I'll get into a little bit more specific things in the park in
Yep.
a second. But my number 4 is riding the water taxi from the hotel to City Walk, where you enter the theme park.
Nice.
I'm not sure. I don't. Does Hollywood have water taxis?
No, it's just a parking lot, City Walk, then the theme park.
Okay, cool. Haven't been there, but once you come to Orlando, that's one thing you'll really like and is extremely convenient after walking all day is riding the water taxi back to your hotel as well as into the theme parks. But that's always the first ride on that water taxi on your way to City Walk to enter the theme park is always the most exciting ride. So riding that water taxi from the Hard Rock Hotel, well, the Hard Rock Hotel is really close to the theme parks, so sometimes it makes more sense to walk. But I think this time around, just for the sake of riding the water taxi, because I miss it so much, I'll go ahead and ride the water taxi.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Sounds like fun. I'm to my understanding too, I think Disney World does the same thing with their ferry, right? They have like from the parking lot to the park at one of
Yeah,
the parks.
Disney has a huge ferry, and I believe also some of the hotels will also do a boat ride to the Magic Kingdom.
I must say, right now you look like Fred from freaking Scooby Doo with the looking like the mask's be your ascot. You got the hair going. You got the Scooby Doo. Where's the mystery? Where's the mystery incorporated at, man?
That's a compliment because he's technically like the handsome leader, right? So thanks.
I'm fine with being Shaggy, honestly. I don't care. Just need to find me a Scooby Doo, man. I need to find me a loyal companion who wants to eat all the time.
Sam.
Sam, nah. That's mean. You just called Sam a dog.
No, I didn't mean it that way. I love Sam.
Number 3 for me, Rise of Resistance, man. I want to ride that again. Me and Sammy, before this thing broke out, we made a pact that we were going to ride Rise of Resistance 10 times on the opening year. I'm at 5 currently. He's at 4. So we're halfway there. And this is kind of putting like a little stop to that right now. So I'm hoping the theme parks open soon so we can finish our goal to 10, because I really want to do 10 ride-throughs of Rise of Resistance opening year. So that's my goal.
Nice. And coincidentally enough, my number 3 is a little bit different than yours, but still very similar because I haven't been. So actually going and visiting the Star Wars area,
That
Mantu.
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. There we go. That's what it was escaping me. And I want to ride that freaking ride because when you rode the ride, when I was watching you ride the ride, was that your first time?
No, that was my second time, because the first time I live streamed it, I only did the line queue. And then
Gotcha.
The second time, which was the next day, I went back and I live streamed the entire ride because I have already experienced it. So it was like, all right, now I'll live stream it for everyone.
Dude, when you live streamed that ride, I was so excited. I don't know if you noticed, but I did like a huge blast and got you like 10 more viewers just because I was like, what the hell? And all my friends like started like tuning in, and they were like texting me and being like, holy shoot, who is this guy? You know, what ride is this? And I was like telling them, I was like, that ride, watching it from a live stream was mind blowing. So I could only imagine.
That does nearly no justice as to what the ride does in person.
I could tell already that the ride, even though I've seen it, will still blow my mind.
Dude.
So that's why my number 3 is visiting Galaxy's Edge, and I'll cheat a little bit, and riding Ride of the Resistance.
You gotta do the Millennium Falcon too. That's also another must do. That's a fun one. Smuggler's Run, great ride.
It's like a game ride, right? Like you.
It's like a pretty much, yeah. You get to, it's like a interactive ride, but it's really fun just to be in the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid, man, and they brought that to life. Same thing with Rise of Resistance. They immerse you. It's not even a ride; it's an experience.
Yeah.
You feel like you're in a freaking Star Destroyer. You feel like you're part of the action. You feel like you're being shot at. You feel like you're freaking getting chased, and it's like you feel like you're flying in space. Like, it is amazing what they did with that ride. So
Cool.
I can't wait. So what are we on? Number 2 now?
Yes.
Number 2. This is going to be a 2-parter because it's technically a food and it's also a drink. I want a churro and I want a pineapple Dole Whip from Disneyland.
Nice.
Those are the 2 best foods that you can get at Disneyland. The Dole Whips themselves are just so delicious. The mixture of pineapple juice with pineapple Dole ice cream, so bomb. And then a nice hot churro to that on top of that. The words can't describe how watery my mouth is right now because I really want one. So Dole Whip float, churro number 2.
And I know that the treats at Disney are great, but I've actually never had a Dole Whip.
Yeah, if they have them in Orlando, you have to try it.
Yeah, they have them in Orlando. I've seen.
Yeah, that is a must try. Like it is. I would do both. Try the ice cream and then try it with the pineapple juice. It's delicious either way.
Awesome. I'll check it out next time when I'm there. While I'm visiting Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. And get the blue milk too.
All right. And then my number 2 for me is riding Hagrid's.
Hagrid's.
Yeah, I was there for opening weekend of Hagrid's. Cheesy or cheap plug. It's in my channel.
Watch it.
Yeah. I have the video on my channel. But that ride was amazing. I didn't get a chance to ride it in the night just because the opening weekend and opening month, I'm sure everybody knows, that thing was down so many times.
Yeah.
It was open late, close early. Open late, close early. So I was glad that I was able to ride it once, but I hear the experience, and Losh Adrian from Losh TV let me know that the nighttime experience is completely different from a daytime experience in that roller coaster. It is an outdoor roller coaster, but incorporates scenes. So you'll be able to experience it in a whole different way when you ride it in the nighttime. It's also a lot cooler in Florida in the nighttime than it is in the daytime.
And freaking heat kills you over there, no matter what freaking no matter what freaking season it is.
I take like 5 showers every time I go. I take like 5 showers every day. It's like,
I don't blame you, dude. You probably feel all sticky and you feel gross. I don't blame you one bit.
Breakfast shower.
Yep.
Lunch shower.
Yep.
Go to the park, shower.
Take a shower before you take a shower. It's like, come on.
Right? Pre-shower.
Yep. The last one for me, and this I would hope this was number 1 for both of us, but I could be very wrong. Being that they are part of theme parks haunt season. I just want to do haunt season.
Yep. So
I want to go back to Knott's. I want to go back to Halloween Horror Nights. I want to do Hayride. I want to go to Six Flags for the first time this year. I want to go to Castle Dark. I want to go to freaking Queen Mary. Like, I want to do them all. And I want to see my friends. I want to support my friends. And I just want to see the community out there having a good time. I just want to see it all.
Yep. Yeah. And, I had a feeling that you and I would have a similar number 1 as well. I was surprised that we had a similar number 3. But my number 1 is to book with confidence my Universal Halloween Horror Nights trip.
Yep.
If I were to book it right now, I'd be worried whether or not it's going to happen 100%. But if the parks have opened and I book it, I could book with confidence my trip to Halloween Horror Nights for opening weekend.
If I were you, I'd probably book soon though, because if that does end up happening, that the park's open, people are gonna book like crazy.
I know, but you know what my issue is? I'm an annual pass holder, and last year I actually got the best deal possible a month before the event, and I had already booked it. But Universal annual pass holders, there's pass holder appreciation month.
Yeah,
and it's the midway through August, halfway through September. So you could actually get a really steal of a deal on a hotel if you wait for that time.
Wow.
And I had already booked, so I could technically book and then cancel it and rebook with that deal. But if that ends up being the same thing, that's the reason why I'm kind of like waiting. But I probably will end up booking as soon as either by June, because June is my birthday and I like to buy myself a present. That might be it. Yeah. Or as soon as they announce that it's they're opening, I could do it confidently.
Definitely. So that's our 5 things we want to do when the park's open, man.
Yeah. And I think we should have opened up with this because on their last podcast, they actually opened up with it. We got to give Horror Nights Unscripted a shout out.
Nah, we close with it. We end on positive.
Hey,
we start rough, but we end smooth. That's how we do it. Yeah, We
Yeah,
do our own way. We don't want to copy. We don't want to be no copycats. There's already a couple copycats out there who stole some show ideas that I don't want to get into. A lot of legal things, a lot of lawyers involved. Don't want to get into any of it.
we're letting our lawyers handle it.
Letting our lawyers handle it. We put merchandise out. They followed us and put merchandise out. It's a whole big thing.
Yeah, and hey, funny enough, this is the most hilarious part. I just thought about this right now. SoCal's part Mexican, right?
I don't know what he is.
I think he said it on like a recent video. And you're part Mexican, right?
Yeah, well, Spanish, but yeah, Mexican, yeah.
Are you part Mexican or not Mexican? Part
Like
Mexican.
Spaniard. I mean, my Mexican goes from like Spain, so.
So you got like lineage from Spain to Mexico into the U.S.
Yeah, because like my grandpa, his dad were like from Mexico, so.
Gotcha. And I think he said that he was part Mexican too, and then Losh is Cuban and I'm Cuban. So like, this is like copyright infringement to the bone. To the bone.
Dude, what's going on here, man?
No, we're kidding. We love those guys. They gave us a shout out on their last video, so
Yeah.
I wanted to take a moment.
Go check out Hornets Unscripted. They got actually a really good episode that he's either already out or is going to come out with the founder and starter of part of the creative team for Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. So that's really cool.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to watch that one. I'm actually really.
That's going to be a good episode. So check that out.
They submitted question. I think it was on Instagram. They submitted where you could submit a question. So if it hasn't yet and you want to submit a question, you could do that as well. I submitted mine. Hopefully they actually take my question and ask her because I'm gonna be watching. And if they don't,
if they don't though, what was the question?
So the question I submitted is for her when she is experiencing the event as a fan. How does she like to experience the event? And what I mean by that is how does she tackle the houses? How does she tackle the scare zones? Because you and I both know that when we go several nights, we usually tackle the scare zones a certain way. We have our plan of attack. We speed pass, things of that nature. Kind of just from the creative mentality, now going into a fan mentality, how does she tackle the event?
Definitely. All right, you heard it here, man. If that question doesn't get answered, I'll drive down to San Diego.
Yeah. And social distancing ass whoop.
Yep.
Just kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching East versus West. So your dose of both coasts. It was good to talk about theme parks. See, we are keeping our promise. We're talking about other things than haunts. So there you go.
Perfect.
We kept our promise.
Yes, we did.
If you guys liked this new kind of style of talking about other things besides haunt, which is our specialty, but we are open to talking other things as well, let us know down in the comments what you guys want to hear as far as theme parks, or if you guys want to, us to talk about, that's something that's different on the West Coast, East Coast, movies. I mean, who knows? Anything, everything we can have a debate about for East versus West, we will do. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, follow all of our social medias, and of course, don't forget to get that merch. It's just the links in the bio right there. So go check out that merch shop for that new East versus West merchandise. I know me and Eddie are getting ours pretty soon, which I just ordered yours yesterday. So Teespring has been, I will say this though, when you guys order, Teespring has been a little bit behind as far as shirts goes, with the whole thing with COVID and everything. So just bear with them. They do print great quality stuff, and I have my full faith in them. So if it's a shirt or anything like that, just be a little bit patient. It took me a month just to get a shirt that I ordered from the Tormented Society. So, just be patient. They do deliver, but stickers and stuff have been shipping out really fast. So
awesome.
We will see you guys next time for another episode of East versus West.
Deuces.